fellow fragrance lovers. I'm Julie Motlag and welcome to my channel. If you have never seen one of my videos or you're new to my channel, please take a second to hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the little bell so you can be notified when I release a new video. So today I have a very exciting video about a beautiful fragrance. I was looking for something very formal for a couple of wedding events that I had this summer, and doing tons of research, I landed on this beauty and want to tell you all about her and if she lived up to my expectations, because I did blind buy it. And that is Enigma Aoud. So this is Enigma Aoud. And like I said, I purchased this fragrance because I was really looking for something formal and beautiful and crowd-pleasing to wear to a wedding this summer. And I have several fragrances that I absolutely love. I just want to smell special. And after doing a lot of research, I do have Roja Dove 51, and I absolutely love it. I adore it. It is probably one of my top 5 favorite scents, but it doesn't have quite the longevity that I was looking for going to an event like this, because I want it to last all night, you know, dancing, having fun. I want to smell good the entire evening and not have to worry about reapplying. And while it's a beautiful scent, I wanted something just a tad bit more. And I absolutely love the house of Roja Dove, and he's a mastermind with fragrances, incredibly intelligent. So I wanted something that I knew was well blended and would last, and was also something that everybody around me would enjoy and not be offended by. And that's how I found Enigma Aoud. So to start, let's talk about the Aoud piece of it. Roja Dove spent a ton of time in the Middle East, which is a region of the world that is very in love with Aoud. And well, first let's address the fact that it's called Aoud, which is probably something for those of us in the West, we're not used to hearing that. And the reason he calls it that is because when he was in the Middle East and he was doing his research on Aoud, he realized that that's how Middle Easterners pronounced it. And so he named his fragrances Aoud. So if you can see there, it is with an A in front of it. So you can pronounce it Oud or Aoud, it really doesn't matter. But anyway, so Oud is known as the wood of gods. It was derived, or it is derived, from the resinous bark of a tree that only grows in Southeast Asia. And it is more expensive than gold, and it is absolutely an expensive commodity to have. So Roja Dove actually uses the most expensive of this expensive commodity, and smells each and every oud himself when it's presented to him before he chooses what is going to go in his fragrances. And Enigma Aoud is no different. That's exactly how this came about. He has an entire line of Aoud fragrances. So amber Aoud, just a regular Aoud. He has sweetie Aoud, candy Aoud. So several that maybe you're familiar with, some you might not be, and they're pretty popular. You can't really get them here in the US, but you can buy travel sizes from Roja Dove's website and test them, which is what I did. So, however, this one I did blind buy. So I'm going to get into that entire journey that made me purchase this fragrance out of all the other ones. So one of the biggest reasons that I purchased it is because it has aldehydes in it, and I absolutely love aldehydes for so many reasons. So let me talk to you a little bit about what aldehydes are. Aldehydes are an amalgam that contain a CHO radical, kind of like a benzaldehyde. And these can smell many different ways. They can smell lemony, soapy, almost like laundry detergent clean. They can smell like rose or almond. So they're kind of all over the spectrum, and they're in so many fragrances. There is a side of the spectrum with aldehydes that don't smell that great. And of course, we know perfume makers wouldn't use those, otherwise we wouldn't buy their fragrances. But this particular fragrance does have aldehydes in it. And so as I explained to you what I smell when I spray this on, aldehydes are kind of at the top and what I pick up on first, which is why I love this scent. I typically gravitate toward aldehyde heavy fragrances. Doesn't mean I don't love fragrances that don't have aldehydes, because I absolutely do. But this one is aldehydic, and I love it for it even more. So let's get into the notes and why I love this fragrance. So when I spray this fragrance on, let me just give it a spray here. Oh, it's so decadent and classy and luxurious. When I spray it on, the first thing that I get are the aldehydes, and definitely the bergamot, as that's the top note. So that's definitely the first thing I smell. And then the second note that I get is the rose note. And when I first sprayed it on, I was a little disappointed that it smelled so rose heavy in the beginning, because I have some incredible rose fragrances already, and I don't really need any more. So I immediately was disappointed. I was expecting it to be more like the original Enigma Femme, and it wasn't at first sniff. So immediately I put it back in the box, and I was like, I made a mistake. I'll just sell it and I'll find something else. And before I made the final decision to sell it, I went and sprayed it back on, and I'm like, let me give this one more chance. And I'm so glad I did. So that brings me to one point with Roja Dove fragrances. They are not meant to be just spritzed all over your body. They are meant to be sprayed in your clavicle, so 2 or 3 sprays in each side, and on your wrist 2 or 3 times, both wrists. And that is because we talk with our hands, and also that, if somebody is hugging you or kissing you on each side, or if you turn your head, which we do a lot, we're always moving our head and our hands, that way it gives other people wafts of the fragrance as well as you, so you get to enjoy it too. And that's what I did the second time I sprayed it on. So then I gave it a little while to dry down, and as I did, the rose part of it started to subside just a little bit, and then I really started to get the peach and the heliotrope. So the peach and the heliotrope are big players in this fragrance, and I love that. I love that part of it. I love the ylang ylang and jasmine, which you can smell too. So I really wanted something more than the rose, but I love rose fragrances, don't get me wrong. So I just thought in the beginning that it was just a rose fragrance. Nope, I was wrong. It is, the peach comes through, the heliotrope, the ylang ylang, you get the jasmine, even the geranium, and then as it settles a little bit more, you smell the vanilla. It comes through. So you're going from kind of that powdery rose scent at the top with bergamot, and then it moves into the more woody vanilla, kind of fresh, spicy, and sweet, which I absolutely love that about this scent. It is, lots of white florals, yellow florals, and kind of citrusy. And Roja Dove really does a beautiful job of blending the Aoud in here. It's very understated. It just plays a supporting role in this entire fragrance. He's done a good job of blending something that the Eastern world loves with the Western world in a way that both of those perfume lovers for different reasons can wear the same scent and still love it. And something that's too strong with Oud, I also don't like it. So this is very understated and blended impeccably in this scent. It is just amazing. So longevity, it's definitely a better performer than 51, even though I absolutely adore 51, which I have 51 sitting right behind me as well. And the reason that I have her sitting there as well is because I wanted, something that was comparable to 51 because I love it so much, but something that maybe had a little bit of a different scent, just so I'd have some variation in my collection. And I got that, even though I didn't think so at first, but I definitely did, and I am 100% pleased with my purchase now. So it begs the question, which one's better? And 51's pretty popular, and so is Enigma. And Enigma Aoud is a love child between two very popular scents from Roja, and that is Amber Oud and Enigma Femme. And so he combined those two and made, which Amber Oud is a little rosy, and then you have more of like the peach and bergamot, the neroli. You have that in more of the Enigma Femme. So when you combine those two, you get like this incredibly luxurious, classy, long-lasting scent. So is it better than 51? For the first time in my fragrance life, I can honestly say that this is a dead tie. I cannot say that I love one more than the other. I've always been able to pick my favorite out of the group of fragrances. I have probably over 200 fragrances in my collection. Maybe not all full bottles. I have some samples too, but I have a lot of full bottles and I wear them all. And there are my favorites. I have my favorites. But between these two, I just can't make the call. But because Enigma Aoud lasts just a bit longer than 51, that is the one that I will be wearing for the wedding this summer. And as far as seasonality of this fragrance, I think that you could wear this fragrance year-round. I think it's a really good fragrance for the spring, summer, fall, but you could definitely wear it during the winter as well. And also, this could be a signature scent. That said, it's pretty hefty with its price tag, and not everybody can afford that price tag for a signature scent, and I understand that. If that's the case, then, maybe buy the travel size or the smaller. There is a Eau de Parfum in the 50 mLs. So I got the 100 mLs. I only have the 50 mLs in 51, but I also got the Essence de Parfum for 51, so I can just spritz it on every day when I'm around the house or running errands because I love it that much. Enigma Aoud definitely is expensive, but you don't need a lot of it, and it's so beautiful and classy and just compliment getting, and to me it's worth every penny. Roja is a genius when it comes to blending his fragrances. So I mean, in the very least, I recommend buying a travel size. I think they're about $80 on his website, and using it for special occasions, because I definitely have concluded that Enigma Aoud is more of a special occasion scent and 51 is more of an everyday scent. So both will be permanently in my collection. And I really want to get the 100 ml of the Parfum extrait of 51. Hopefully I can afford it soon. But both outstanding fragrances, and I highly, highly, highly recommend Enigma Aoud. I love it, and just the life of the fragrance, it changes. You get the rose, but you also still get the original Enigma that everybody loves, and the best of both worlds with the Amber Aoud. So 100%, this is a special, special, special fragrance, like none other. If you haven't tried it, I recommend order the travel size or order a sample. Try it today. It's amazing. That said, that's my video for today. Thank you guys for listening, and I will be posting more videos very soon. Have a great day.